Let's now watch this video. You know that I am Italian, European, and that there is an ancient cartomancy tradition here. It is justified to believe that I probably believe in magic and divinatory practices, because they are part of my culture. Yet, believing is not as strong as knowing. To believe leaves open the possibility of believing a falsehood. In fact, I didn't go to the fortune teller because of my superstition, because I needed a strong video introduction for my lecture. But your path was anyway right. In fact, you started from reasoning on my culture. You chose the most likely situation behind the video. You looked at the possible words that could explain the reason. But after having known the real motive, you up-to-dated your knowledge, and now no possible words contain the fact that I'm superstitious, and you know that the video was a provocation. This kind of reasoning is justified, even if it was wrong, while the modality of the fortune teller is devoid of justification, even if she could say some truth. The first kind of reasoning is very similar to the cultural competence. Cultural competence means understanding and behaving flexibly in relation to a specific culture. So it is empathizing and reasoning from the perspective of the others. But how do we manage this ability? How can we perceive the other beliefs, and why do we implement this ability into a robot? The act of observation is never neutral. We are guided by antecedent theories provided by culture, by language, by our body shape, by senses, by our experiences. And we can select them flexibly according to the situation. The point is that if the motivation, the context is social, we select from strategies provided by culture. So it is a heuristic. Culture is a save cost principle. But because meanings are co-created in a form of life, into a shared context, we all know that we know something. We all know that the other believes in such a things, and they will select some meanings, because those meanings are co-created, are public. This allows us to anticipate the other's behaviors from very simple hints. And this common ground, which is constituted by cultural norms, meanings, strategies, plans, helps us to enter into the other perspectives, reasoning on their possible words. Considering culture into robotics seems to be important for two reasons. The first one is acceptance. Culture goes to accept robots, which are social objects when they leave the laboratory. The second reason is a practical reason, because we said that culture is a heuristic. So implementing it into robots, in particular into social robots, it would help them adapting to relations, conversations, and social conventions in general. Kripke formalized this kind of semantics for sentences that contain modal verbs, which are necessary or know, believe, or obligations, permissions, or temporal verbs. These are all important for culture. In fact, culture changes over time. Culture deals with values, obligations, permissions, and deals with beliefs. So we need this kind of logic for formalizing our assumptions. We need a triplet of words, and interpretations that associate to every sentence that contains a modal verb a true value. In fact, for each word, each formula has got one true value. It means words are consistent, are complete, and they are related to the knowledge we have. Then we should have also a relation of accessibility. So a relation through the words, what each word see from its point of view. The most complete relation is called S5. It is also called Socratic, or it is a negative introspection. It means that when we believe, we don't know. So we don't know, but we know that we don't know. And only when we know we don't know, we can search for the information we miss. So this is why it is Socratic. Socrates said that only when a person know they don't know, that person can search for that missing information. So we need S5. Well, all words are all visibles from each other's. And of course, when we have got this relation of accessibility, which is the ability of empathizing with the others, we can start acting for changing the environment, for acquiring the information. So it is an action that changes our knowledge. Or we can plan actions that change the others' knowledges. So only with S5 we can have a dynamic logic, dynamic possible words. Let's make another example. Take the bad reviewer 2. Now, because I'm here talking into this conference, you can't believe I was rejected by reviewer 2. But let's take another person. For example, a professor of philosophy who is near to our culture, the culture of frustrated researchers. But maybe she or he doesn't know that I was accepted. Could say, okay, Lorenza was rejected, because it could be very possible. Because reviewer 2 is terrible, because possible words are not assigned randomly, but are based on probabilities. But, of course, not knowing pushes the professor going on Google. And after having known that my paper was accepted and the reviewer too, maybe he or she was on holiday, so more relaxed, they decide to accept my paper. Now, no possible words contain the fact that Lorenza was rejected. It is another example of what we said at the beginning with the fortune teller. The fortune teller has got no method at all. because even if she says some truth, it is not based on probabilities and on reasonings on culture. The fact is that both you, the robot, the professor, don't remain defenseless. You all provide an answer, waiting for new data. It is why this kind of reasoning culture is a heuristic that accelerates and helps us with redundant words, meanings, time, and very few resources. In short, to implement this assumption, we suggest to use a simple planner like PDDL, but in the version of PDDL 1.0, which is a planner that handles also rewards and probabilities. Probabilities are the formalization of possible words. Rewards avoid the perpetuation of biases with the customization, because culture is anyway a fuzzy concept. Not everyone enters completely in it. Of course, we suggest also to use also a threshold for avoiding a combinatory explosion of trivial plans. Also a threshold for low probabilities associated to some words. This avoids also another problem for modal logic, which is logical omniscience, where agents tend to be idealized. Another option is using ACTAR, which is an hybrid cognitive architecture. It associates to each rule and to each characteristics in the declarative memory, in the chunks, weights that can change over time during the customization with rewards and punishments, and that can change with different goals, different motivations. So it is linked to the concept we introduced at the beginning, the weak relativism. We also suggest a selector of the most plausible belief into a larger set of beliefs. It is a sort of threshold with a relation of accessibility S5, which is the introspection and empathy required for changing dynamically the words and the environment. Thank you for the attention. Grazie per l'attenzione.